Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakar, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. This is Paya Allah, and it's a biblical commentary on the book of Judges, the 12th chapter, and it reads, And the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together and went northward, and said unto Jephthah, Wherefore passedst thou over to fight against the children of Ammon, and didst not call us to go with thee? We will burn thine house upon thee with fire. It's lucky, excuse me. And Jephthah said unto them, I and my people were at great strife with the children of Ammon, and when I called you, ye delivered me not out of their hands. Alright? So Jephthah, as we know, elders came unto him and sought him after he was living a life of crime, alright, with vain fellows. And in doing so, he basically took heed to it and seeked the Lord, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakar, Kodash. And he worked with him to deliver the Ammonites into his hand, not without a sacrifice being made, that of his only daughter, all right? But at, these things being done, now you had Ephraim basically upset with him because he did so according to, them without their go-ahead, all right? But he said, look, I had to do it because these people were on our back. And I had to say it, all right. Verse 3, And when I saw that ye delivered me not, I put my life in my hands and passed over against the children of Ammon. So he basically said they ignored him, all right? Now, mind you, Gilead is in a mountainous terrain, so it's a way away from everything that, everyone else is doing. So it's like an offshoot. And even when you deal with, I mentioned it before, dealing with the Afghanis in the previous chapter I read, but I did a bit more research, and there's psychological traits. Esau does his studies according to that. There's characteristics of someone that's raised in that kind of environment, and they basically fit the Gileadites, because mind you gotta remember and keep in mind that Gideon, right, was Gileadite as well as Jephthah. And they actually, that rebellious spirit that they have, that, insubordination that they have, is really what is required to actually get things percolating, get some movement going, all right? Some friction, some motion, all right? So reading on, it says, and the Lord Yahweh delivered them into my hand, all right? And that alone should just make it be known, look, the Heavenly Father did this. Wherefore then are ye come up unto me this day to fight against me? Then Jephthah gathered together all the men of Gilead and fought with Ephraim. And the men of Gilead smote Ephraim, because they said, Ye Gileadites are fugitives of Ephraim, and among the Ephraimites and among the Manassites. Right, because they've also known as the half tribe of Manasseh, all right, that possessed their land east of the river Jordan, all right. Now that east of the Jordan, so I say. So with that being said, when you referring to what's written, within the scriptures about Gad, Reuben, the half tribe of Manasseh, they're known as the war tribes, the warrior tribes, all right, and they're all highly regarded. And take into account all the things I said prior, they're just, the Heavenly Father built them like that. All right, verse 5. And the Gileadites took the passage of Jordan before the Ephraimites, and it was so. And even Ephraim, the way they're coming down, it seems like a complex of some sort, but I've more pertain it to that of them being the head tribe. All right, Joshua was the man that brought them in. After Moses was the man that brought them into the kingdom. And we understand that Levi, which tribe Moses belonged to, was the priesthood. All right, and you had Ephraim were actually meant to be the head tribe, the chief tribe, all right? But when you go into the book of, I forget which book it is, it basically speaks about the transition of the birthright being removed from Reuben, and then removed from both Simeon and Levi due to what they did, pertaining to how it was broken down in the book of Genesis. And ultimately, really it was meant to, before even all of that, it was meant to go from, since Reuben didn't get, the next firstborn was meant to get, being who? Joseph ultimately was meant to get. But Judah wound up getting it through just dexterity. The Spirit was dealing with Judah, all right? And really it was written in the Spirit because it's in the book of Genesis, and even the name Yahweh, all right? Yahweh's praise is in that tribe. But throughout the course of this time, Ephraim was established as the center point of Israel, all right? So you could see that they this happened the second time, and they felt some kind of a way. All right, verse 5. And the Gileadites took the passage of Jordan before the Ephraimites, and it was so that when those Ephraimites which were escaped said, Let me go over, that the men of Gilead said unto him, Art thou an Ephraimite? If he said, Nay. Then said they unto him, Say now Shibboleth. And he said, Sibboleth, for he could not frame his frame. He could not frame to pronounce it right. His enunciation wasn't there, man. He couldn't say Shibboleth. He'd say Sibboleth. Then they took him and slew him at the passages of Jordan. And there fell at that time of the Ephraimites 42,000. And Jephthah judged Israel 6 years. Then died Jephthah the Gileadite, and was buried in one of the cities of Gilead. And after him Ibzan of Bethlehem, Bayathlachem, I like saying that, man, the house of bread, judged Israel, and he had 30 sons and 30 daughters, whom he sent abroad, and took in 30 daughters from abroad for his sons, and he judged Israel 7 years. Then died Ibzan, and was buried at Bayathlachem. All right, and this really is just showing you peace, okay? A time of peace. Following on, verse 11. After him, Elon, a Zebulunite, judged Israel, and he judged Israel 10 years. And Elon, the Zebulunite, died and was buried in Aijalon, in the country of Zebulun. And after him, Abdon, the son of Hillel, and Piraphonite, judged Israel, and he had 40 sons and 30 nephews, and rode on 60 and 10 ass colts. And he judged Israel 8 years. And Abdon, the son of Hillel, the Piraphonite, died and was buried in Paraphion, in the land of Ephraim, in the mount of the Amalekites. So yeah, like you can see, there was a continued time of judges with no form of going off. So with that, I pray you edify to the next one. Say shalom, shalom.